everyone, and welcome to
The Movie House.
Today we're going to talk to you about a movie from 1959 called North by Northwest, starring Cary Grant and, what's her name? Eva Marie Saint.
Eva Marie Saint.
James Mason.
Oh, yeah.
And Mark Landau.
Yeah. Among
others. It's one of Hitchcock's most respected films, I think. One of the first ones you think of when you think of Hitchcock is North by Northwest. And it's a story of, as you can imagine, intrigue and murder and all kinds of danger afoot. And what I really like about it too is the, what's called, not misidentification. What's the word I'm looking for?
Well, I think misidentification works.
That's not what you call it though. Is it? Well, anyway, Cary Grant's taken for somebody else that he's not. Whatever you call that. There's a term for it. These guys think he's somebody who he's not.
Why wouldn't it be misidentification? There's another term?
Yeah, I just can't think of it.
Oh.
We're done.
Okay. Yeah, because now I'm thinking about it and I'm like, what would that be? Mistaken identity.
Mistaken identity. That's it. Thank you. I had it reversed.
Mistaken identity.
Mistaken identity. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's a story of mistaken identity where Cary Grant's character is mistaken by James Mason for somebody else. And he gets caught up in this whole world he's unfamiliar with because he's
he's an ad guy.
Executive.
Yeah.
He's a Madison Avenue guy. He's a madman. And then he gets pulled into this world of spies and secrets and all kinds of craziness.
Yes.
And
international.
Right, international. And so as the viewer, you get to go on this journey with him as he sort of tries to unpeel this onion, and he's wrapped in to figure out what's going on, why are they chasing him, and how can he get out of this?
Yeah. It's really interesting too how they do it, because you see clearly how it happened and how he tries to explain to people throughout the movie, wait a minute, I'm not who you think I am. And they just like, oh, sure right, you are. Right. We heard you were good at this. Right. You are really good, but we just want you to know. And he's like, I'm not making this up. Here I am. Here's my wallet. Here's my ID. And they're like, those can be faked. Nobody will believe him that he's not who they think he is. Yeah. He's just, like he said, he's just going around doing his own thing, minding his own business, and somehow he just gets swept up in this and can't get out of it.
And this whole story was dreamt up by Hitchcock and the writer of the story because they wanted to do a story that took place across several different locations. And so you essentially start in New York City on the East Coast and you end up in the west of America at Mount Rushmore and several stops along the way. So it was quite a arduous task for them to put this movie together by having to literally go to these different places and film. But it's, again, for the 50s, it's 1959, probably people didn't travel as much back then. And so to get to see them go on this journey was probably a lot of fun for the audience back then.
Yes, it's beautiful. It's dramatic. The scenery, the locations, the trains. It's a really, really cool way to make a movie. And that's like the iconic scene with him and the crop duster.
Right.
And that was shot in Illinois, I believe. I think that was Illinois that they shot that. And you wouldn't think it was in Illinois because I think it's supposed to be, where's it supposed to be? It's not Illinois.
Yeah, it's a crossroads out west somewhere.
Yeah. But that's really, really cool if you watch the extras, how they did it.
Right.
It was really fascinating. And another note about the movie, I didn't think about this until I was looking at a fashion book about Cary Grant's style in clothing, and he wears the same suit through the entire movie. Right. He's only in the one suit. And so that suit on its own is iconic because of this movie. And I never realized, I don't think, until I read that he just wears the one gray suit through the entire movie.
Yeah. And for its day, I'm guessing it's a little risque with some of the sexual undertones and overtones and
Yeah.
all that, because he and Eva Marie Saint clearly have relations on this train when they just met, and she's also involved with James Mason's character, and then you've got Martin Landau, who you can't tell from overtly from the film, but he said in an interview that he decided to play his character as homosexual. And so again, this is 1959, and it's extremely subtle, and it's probably
you
not
wouldn't
really
even
there.
you wouldn't even, it's not there. Because it's like, really? Okay.
Yeah, in any real way.
Mm-hmm.
But he was, that's how he chose to view his character and act throughout the movie. And Hitchcock was cool with it, because apparently, I don't know a lot about Hitchcock, but apparently he had some personal predilections, because everybody knows he's famous for his being obsessive about blondes and blonde females, and so clearly it didn't bother him that Martin Landau told him he was going to do this. So he's like, yeah, go ahead. But
I'll be looking at Eva Marie Saint. So.
Yeah, right. But it's really probably, again, I'm just guessing from his day, it's probably a little bit scandalous in some of the ways, because they'll talk about it, but they present the story and these relations that people get into, which you clearly don't see, but if you're an adult, you know what's going on.
Right. Yeah. Came a long way from how Hollywood was.
Yeah. And for now, looking back on it, it's kind of quaint.
Yeah.
But,
and subtle.
Yeah.
Not like nowadays.
No.
Not like nowadays at all. But it's such a good movie. Just a fun, again, there's comedy in it. Very subtle, but there's comedy in it, especially with the Cary Grant character, I believe. And he's just such a good actor that he can do anything. He can do, I mean, this is more drama than a lot of his other movies. He did a lot of comedy. I read too, he never did any Westerns, so you won't find a Cary Grant in a Western. But this was, and this was, I think, his fourth Hitchcock film?
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I think he worked with Hitchcock at least 4 times. Okay. Yeah, To Catch a Thief, Notorious, and I think, is it Insidious or Indiscreet or something like that? Okay. So they're all good. I mean, Hitchcock is a good...
Indiscreet wasn't good. We didn't like that.
We didn't like that?
Yeah.
Oh, is that the one? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we didn't like that one. Never mind.
We'll review it someday, maybe.
Ugh.
If we can stomach it.
Yeah.
But okay, so yeah, it's for, and he's in his 50s, so the action is pretty good for a guy in his 50s, in the 50s, who had been a smoker for a long time. In fact, I read that he would smoke 3 packs a day until like 57 or something like that.
And he quit.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, he's very in good shape.
Yeah.
He always did look in good shape, and he, like you said, he did a lot of he had a double, but he did a lot of it himself. Mm-hmm. So.
Okay. Well, that's it. If you haven't seen North by Northwest, check it out. It's worth a viewing. I think you'll enjoy it, right? Yes,
it's a good film, and like we said, there's other actors in it that you'll probably be familiar with. I don't recall his name, but the guy from the man from Uncle's in it.
Right.
And he's good, and it's just a good movie.
Well, and bringing that up, I thought it was interesting too that this is a movie that there's government people. You see them watching sort of from the sidelines what's going on with this poor sap, and instead of intervening, they let him be put through the ringer.
Yeah,
they knowingly let him go through this when they could have stopped him. And I thought that was an interesting sort of cynical view of government in the 1950s.
Yeah. So, and also, we don't want to give it away. You'll have to see the movie. But there's really scan the crowd and watch the scene in the dining restaurant at Mount Rushmore. I don't want to give it away. It's in the extras. But see if you can notice something interesting that happened during the shoot. And they did this shot numerous times, and they liked everything, and either that skipped past editing or they knew it was there and they're like, what are you going to do? But just, you'll see something there. And if you don't notice it, check out the extras and then they'll tell you about it.
There's something there that shouldn't happen, but it does.
Yeah, but it's really cool. It's really funny. Okay. So
very good.
All right.
Well, that's it for us. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Bye.